Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand all the latest cues from the day trade, starting from the benchmark index moves to sectoral action and all the stocks that are buzzing in trade as well. We'll get you expert views to find out where exactly should you be putting in money in today's trading action and where are the opportunities emerging for you as a long-term equity investor as well. But first up, a quick check as to how the markets are doing at this point. Remember, after 8 straight days of positive gains on the Nifty, we are seeing subdued trade on the markets today. In fact, now we are seeing the markets slip away to the lowest point of the day. The Nifty 50 is trading 136 points lower. That's 0.7% of a fall at 19,360. So it slipped below that 19,400 mark. Remember, yesterday was the first session when we saw that milestone 19,500 being seen on the Nifty as well. So the markets have pulled back from those all-time high levels. 65,361 currently for the Sensex. It's down by 424 odd points. Remember, we had got a negative Q on global markets from global markets like US and Asian markets, and the sentiment is weaker on that aspect. But let's see whether there is any kind of a better trade that you can spot on the broader markets. No, in fact, they are doing even worse. The mid-cap 100 index is down by 1% at 35,982. The small caps have come under pressure too at 0.7% of a decline. Let's leave the Nifty Bank as well and see how it's the action there, because this index was in fact the weakest of all of these major indices, down at the day's low at over a percent loss at 468 points of a decline right now for the Nifty Bank, which is hovering at 44,870 odd levels. Now the PSU banks have slipped in trade, 1.4% of a fall for this one. Let's also look at the other constituents like financial services and private banks too. Again, private banks are down by over a percent in today's trade. Financial services, if there's any kind of a trend that you can spot there, again, this is also weak, about 0.8%. All the constituents of the financial services and Nifty Bank are down in trade in today's trading action. Let's look at the other sectoral indices as well, because most of the sectors were trading with losses in the early morning trading session. And right now also, if we speak, we are seeing the FMCG stocks are declining by 0.7%. The autos are down by 0.3%. We're also seeing the IT pack down by 0.7%, 0.8% now at the day's low. Remember, IT will be important to track next week because of the earnings season kickstarting. Metals are losing their sheen, a percent down for this one too. The real estate sector, which was the top gainer in this week, we have seen a slip coming in on over 1% for the Nifty Realty Index as well. Barring the consumer durables, I see all the sectors and say media that is in the green, but rest of the sectors are all down in the red. Let's look at the stocks as well that are creating pressure on the markets today. Nifty, top Nifty losers right now. Adani Ports, Power Grid, IndusInd Bank, NTPC. You're seeing even Apollo Hospitals now looking at some profit booking taking place for this counter. Rest of the stocks down in the red too. Which are the stocks that are holding up their gains despite this overall weaker trend in the market today? Titan is the top gainer. In the morning trade, we had seen Titan rising to fresh highs, of course, after that positive update on Q1. HDFC Life, SBI Life, the life insurance majors are pulling up. M&M and TCS are the other counters that are still holding about 0.25% and 0.7% of gains respectively in today's trade. But let's welcome our guest on the show. Raghavendra Singh joins in. He's a market expert. Welcome, Raghavendra. Good afternoon to you. How are you looking at the kind of weakening trend that you're looking at into the markets? We've been looking at how the Nifty has already surged about 830 points odd in the last 8 sessions. But here comes a break. And we are seeing that the global sentiment has also turned weaker, putting added on pressure. Despite the constant FII flow that we've been seeing in, is this the first sign of profit booking taking place, and how do you see the markets going forward?
Sakshi, I think after giving a 1,000 point run up, I think this kind of profit booking was expecting, I was expecting this kind of profit booking in this week, as we were discussing in the last week that Nifty is going to make 19,500 level. This week we have already seen that level, and I'm expecting more selling pressure in the next week. So
Okay.
overall, broader market like all frontline stock, Adani, Reliance, SDFC Twins, and all auto stocks, all everywhere we have seen some profit booking. So I think yes, it is going to be a very tough week next week ahead.
Okay, tough next week ahead. There could be some extended selling pressure that one can look at in the market. So what would be the strategy that you'd recommend investors now?
Okay, if we close below 19,400 and 350 level, so I think we should book our profit and wait for some decent dip to buy again.
Okay, understood that. Apart from this, our focus today is also on the new listing, that is IdeaForge. Despite this overall muted trend, we are seeing that IdeaForge has definitely created massive wealth for investors on day one. It's been a blockbuster debut. The issue price was 672 and the listing price has been at a premium of 94% at 1300, and the stock is holding on to that level. If we see, it's still up about 94 odd percent despite the overall weakness in the secondary market. The stock is still holding on. So looks like people are not in a hurry to book out profits at this stage as well. Your own thoughts, was this kind of a listing expected? And also, can the stock further build on from these levels? Is it possible, or will you see more profits being taken off now?
Sakshi, yes, we were discussing this stock about in the past week before the IPO comes in the market. So I was expecting, yes, definitely I was expecting this kind of, up move and opening for this stock. It is a very good company. It is very sound fundamental company. I don't think that we are going to see any profit booking near term. So I'm expecting again, upside from this level to up to 1400 plus level.
Okay, 1400 plus levels is also what you expect going forward from here. So I would want to ask you this. See, a lot of investors are feeling FOMO. A lot of investors are having a feeling of having missed out the chance of getting that allotment. Very few investors have got lucky who've got the allotment for IdeaForge. But in the secondary market now, does it make sense for investors to look at this company even at buying at 1300 levels? Because you were getting a 50% discount in the IPO. There was a sense that you can expect a 50-60% kind of a bumper listing because of the market share and the clear moats that the company has. But at 1300 levels, these kind of valuations, does it still make sense?
No, I don't think that any fresh investment we can make over here. So those who have got in the listing, in the IPO, I think they should hold the stock and wait for the more higher level. But yes, if you want to invest for the fresh, investment, I don't think this is the right time to invest in this stock.
Okay, so all those investors who got the allotment, what would you advise? Should they book the profits right here, take the listing gains and exit the stock? Or should one continue to hold on for long term in hopes that they can continue to, build on more profits going forward?
See, if you have got in the IPO, I think 100% gain is like dreams comes true. So I believe you should book your profit 50% right here and wait for the next upside and take your 50% profit right now.
Okay, got that. Let's also discuss about, since you said that, 1300 levels are not very advisable for fresh investments at this level currently, but we do have other peers also listed on the exchanges which compare with IdeaForge. So if not IdeaForge at 1300 levels, does it make sense for investors to maybe look at the listed space already, the peers that are already listed like an MTAR Technology? Let's look at that stock, Astra Microwave Products and Data Patterns. These are the three companies that even in the DRHP, the company has seen them as their direct competitors. Today, Astra Microwave stock is down by about 2 odd percent. But in the last, let's say, year-to-date levels, there's been a 23% surge on the stock. On a one-year basis, there's a 70% surge on Astra Microwave. On a 5-year basis,
Right.
the stock has given a massive 256% kind of a jump. So let's compare one by one and see whether IdeaForge and Astra Microwave, how do they compare and what would you advise here?
So basically, if we compare, Astra Microwave and the IdeaForge, I believe if you are not buying, IdeaForge, better to invest in the other company. So I think wait for some more time because we are seeing some correction in the market, and I expect Nifty to touch below 19,200, 19,250 level. So I believe that time, yes, definitely we can look for some opportunity, Astra Microwave and data patterns. So investors wait for the right time to invest in the market.
Right, because you know why I'm asking Astra Microwave, because it is still, a much lower ticket price when you compare with 1300 of IdeaForge. So just at a 356 rupees, do you think this is a better bargain buy at this point in time? Because when we compare MTR technologies and even when we compare data patterns, the stock is trading at 1896 for data patterns currently. For MTR tech, again, it is a 1916 kind of a level. So still, I would say that on a ticket basis price, nothing else compared. 1300 for IdeaForge, about 1900 for both data patterns and MTR versus a 350 for Astra Microwave. Where does where should investors keep their focus?
Definitely, Astra Microwave is trading below, almost 350, 400 level. So I think it is going to be a, good bid for investment. But yes, the company balance sheet and the other aspects, I think both companies are doing good. So at Astra Micro, maybe some other company like MTR and Data Pattern, all are good. But yes, wait for the right time because we are in the correction mode. So I think Nifty will give you a good chance to enter in this stock.
Okay. Let's also talk about the other IPO that will be listed come next week, and that is Cyient DLM. I remember discussing this stock also with you before, and you did
Right.
say that investors can definitely go ahead. And of course, there is a strong parentage that the company will get benefited from. Going forward, do you expect similar stellar response from the listing of Cyient DLM come Monday?
Definitely, it is going to be a blockbuster listing on Monday, I believe, like, IdeaForce. So investors should hold this stock. We will talk about this stock on Monday after the listing.
All right. Anything else that's catching your eye, Raghavendra, in this current market setup? We are seeing the dips today. Where are the valuations turning more attractive? Since, this is most of the experts do believe that there may be some short-term sell-off, but the market uptrend may continue even going forward from here. So which are the areas to focus on? Where should one buy the dips?
Sakshit, last week we were discussing about the MCX and Kotak Bank. These two stocks are still, looking very attractive after this 100 200 point fall in Nifty. So I believe these two stocks are good, and I think investors should look for this. Apart from that, I am very much bullish in auto stock, in especially in the Hero Moto and Ashok Leyland. These two stocks can give a good, output in next 2 weeks.
Okay, got that. Well, many thanks, Raghavendra, for being with us on the show and discussing all these insights with all our
Thank you
viewers.
so much.
The market still under selling pressure, 393 points lower for Sensex right now, 65,390. The Nifty also seeing cuts of about 130 odd points at 19,370 odd levels. So there is currently pressure. All across the board, you're looking at markets turning weaker. But will we see second half as a better one than the first half of the trading session? Will the markets buy these dips? Can there be a bounce, and can any sector really pull the markets from these lows? Is something that we will continue to track. And you can track the market movement with us on Business Today TV. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also continue to engage with us on our other social media platforms as well. Until then, many thanks for tuning in.